Hello everyone. Today I'm continuing on this topic, how to know your child's talent. The previous video was an introduction episode to this topic, and today it is how to know your child's talent. So I'll be giving you some of the examples of talents that we have, the inherent abilities we have been born with. Alright, so some children, you will notice a form of creativity in them. Some children likes to bring objects together to make things. Some it could be bicycles, some kites, some even motorcycles, some bicycles, and all of that. Alright, and then you realize that some children love sports right from childhood. They love sporting. Some it could be basketball, football, volleyball. Some could be swimming and all of that. Alright, so some children actually love playing musical instruments. Alright, like the keyboard, the piano, the guitar, and all of that. Alright, and then some children, they love yoga. They love, just being alone, meditating, having their own mindfulness, just thinking about things. Alright, so when your child is practicing yoga, do not think it is unnatural of that child. Alright, it is still natural. Some people are like that, they just love their own space, their own quiet time to think. Alright, that is the art of yoga. Alright, so some children are like that. They are just like that. They are great thinkers. And then you see some children, they involve themselves into entertainment, like dancing. You see some children trying to make people laugh. That is comedy. You see some children, they rap, some hype, even at a younger age. Alright, these are calling them, and I call them the entertainment era. It's all part of talent. Alright, and so some children, they love to mold, to build. They use clay and they just make objects out of it. Some children could make mortar, some could make pestle, some just this beautiful object from molding. And also research shows that children excel in areas that they are naturally drawn to. They excel more better in these things that they are naturally drawn to. So when you look at these examples of these talents in your child, you try to mold them in those areas. That's what your child actually loves to do, and you try to mold them up. Alright, so right now I'm going into telling you the points on how to get to know your child's talent. And then the number one point is through observation. Alright, you observe their daily activities. Definitely, each and every single day, there may be something that they love to do. Sometimes they do it even without knowing it, that they're doing it unconsciously, but they do it. So it is up to you to observe. Just keep observing them. And I told you that research shows that children start displaying their talents from age 2 to 5 and upwards. So from age 2, you begin to start observing your child in their daily activities, getting to know what they love doing. As most times, the things that they love doing, most times they do it unconsciously and they do it happily. Alright, so that's one way of getting to know your child's talent, through observation. You can, if you're the type of parents that your child is shy or maybe afraid of displaying their talents in front of you because you may call them silly, you can hide. Just hide and watch. But either way it goes, you just have to observe. Alright, which is number one point. And then the second point is you play with them. It is very, very simple and easy, one of the easiest way to get to know your child's talent. Sometimes in your leisure time also, you play with them. As you're playing with them, they're displaying their talent to you, and you're helping them. You're also playing with them. It makes them happy. Alright, this also promotes joy in the home, and it makes your children to have this kind of connection with you. Because children at a tender age or younger age, they love to play, and they tend to get attached to whosoever that plays with them, that gives them that joy that they're looking for. So when you play with your children, it gives you more ground to get to know their talents. All right, so the next point is you involve them in critical thinking. And how do you do this? You engage them into quizzes and puzzles. All right, give them problems to find solutions to. Let them look for solutions, yes, to the problems, to the quizzes and puzzles which you bring up, and make sure it is not way out of their limitations, all right, way out of their knowledge, based on what they can offer, what they can easily think of and provide solutions to. You can just start with simple quizzes and puzzles, all right. From there, as they keep growing, and then you extend it according to their level of age. So that's how you do it. You engage them in critical thinking. All right, give them problems. Let them try to find solutions to it. Let them think wide. Yeah, it helps them to think wide. All right, then ask them questions. That's the next point. Ask them questions on what they love to do. They need to also tell you, because they have their own opinions as well. They need to voice out. Aside observing and doing the other points, you also need to ask them, what do you love to do most? What interests you most? When you ask them, you may be surprised at their answers. All right, so they get to tell you, and from there you get their responses. All right, and then do not restrict them. Do not restrict them in the sense that don't restrict them from doing what they love to do. Some parents are so strict to their children, they won't even allow their children to play. No, do not restrict them, all right? And do not pile them up with house chores such that they don't even have time for themselves to display their abilities. All right? So allow them to mingle with their friends also. Because as they tend to play with their peers, the more they get to display their talents, because they feel comfortable with them. They feel they can display anything among their peers, and they're still okay with that. All right? So do not restrict your children. Give them an opportunity to play, to display their talents, and create a conducive atmosphere of them being able to display their abilities even in your own presence. All right, so these are the few points I have pointed out. There are many more, but these are the ones I've pointed out, and I believe that they are quite helpful. So try to apply these points with your children at a younger age, and then you'll be surprised that you get to know, you get to notice. Start paying attention now. Even if your child is past age 2, you can still start, as long as your child is still a child. 5 years to 10 years, even up to 15 years, you can still observe it. It's not too late. All right, people at 50 are still realizing their talent. So that way. So I hope this video helps you, and I hope that as you apply this point, it helps you in realizing your child's talent.